Love is in the air this Valentine's Day and in the form of hundreds of flower arrangements being delivered across the Mid-Ohio Valley. Our Jason Livia traveled alongside a local florist as they made their special deliveries.
Dudley's Florist was full steam ahead Friday as they worked to put together and deliver a large number of Valentine's Day arrangements to people across the Mid-Ohio Valley. The owners of Dudley's Florist, Heather and Mark Fowler, said they provide a variety of arrangements, but red roses are the best sellers this time of year.
For Valentine's Day, we definitely feature the red roses in many, many colors. We also have plants, we have plush animals, we have chocolates, candles, balloons, green plants of varieties, blooming plants, a little bit of everything. Something for everybody, I think.
Dudley's has been around since 1863, the same year that West Virginia was founded. And while a lot of things have changed over the years, the one thing that stayed consistent is the quality of the arrangements that they make here.
Well, the girls will look at everything. You know, flowers come in. Flowers is a natural thing, so they have been shipped. You know, there's a little bit of travel time to get to us, but they that has to be processed. We have to inspect everything that comes in, make sure that nothing's falling apart, nothing has gotten too bad in transit, and they'll do it individually. Every little stem, every single stem is touched by human hands and put in, I would say, with care.
Andy Thorpe works a few days of the week for Dudley's Florist as a way to keep himself busy in his retirement after 35 years with the USPS. But he says he loves doing it because of the joy it brings people when they receive flowers. The arrangers in the back mentioned that the staff is like a close-knit family, and they love the work they do. This Valentine's Day, Dudley's Florist expected to do nearly 300 deliveries, and the only reason they aren't able to do more is the number of drivers they can get for Valentine's Day.
We'll probably end up doing around 300 or so today.
Roughly.
Yesterday, about half that. It's just the amount of people we can have here to make it and physically make them and deliver them.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it just depends on how many drivers we have, and that, depending on how many drivers we have available, is how many deliveries we can get out, because we service a rather large area.
This is Jason Livia in Parkersburg. With WTAP News, this is Home.